Recording is on.
Hello, everybody. We are here today on this November the 9th, 2022, and we're so happy that you're joining us. And we're happy to bring a new topic today for you and your personal growth. And today we have Mario Manzanilla from One Ray Mortgage, and he is a reverse mortgage specialist. And today we're going to be speaking about reverse mortgages. And hi, Mario. Uh,
Good
how are
morning.
you? Welcome and thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you so much for the opportunity, Blanca, to discuss about this special topic, which is very helpful to many of the senior community.
Well, I'm glad. Well, I want to know more about your company, about what you do, and how can our listeners contact you. So let's start our program and discuss what is a reverse mortgage.
Great. A reverse mortgage is a very interesting program. It's very unique. And the key thing about the reverse mortgage is that now you're using your equity in your home to pay you rather than you paying your mortgage. So there is no mortgage payment. It is a loan, but you're using your home as collateral, you're using your home as your bank, and you get the money, you get paid instead of you paying the mortgage. And instead of you paying the mortgage, that's the real key difference on
Wow.
the reverse. That's why it's reverse, right? Because now they're paying you instead of you paying the mortgage, and there is no mortgage payment. That's the key feature of that one.
Okay, well, I know our listeners have questions like, okay, well, how do I qualify for a reverse mortgage and what are the requirements?
Well, it's very interesting. A reverse mortgage, to begin with, you have to be 62 plus years old. Now, if there's a couple, and let's say one is 59 and the other one is 62, they still qualify, and they use the numbers based on the youngest one. So it's based on age and equity. So that's what they basically do to qualify. What's the age? The older you are, the more money you will get. So one at 62 is going to get less than somebody that is 74 or 80 years old. You see, so as you go progress along with the age, and when you get your reverse mortgage, if you're 66, you're going to get more than if you were 62. So it's based on age and equity. The qualifications are much, much different. They're a lot easier to qualify because they're not based on debt to income ratios. You don't have to bring tax returns, just your income minus your credit card or other debt. That's it. And they just want to make sure that you have enough money to pay for your property taxes and your homeowner's insurance. That's it. Very easy, easier than that. I mean,
Well,
that's
that's awesome. You know what? I wonder how did you became a reverse mortgage specialist and about your company and let's say somebody is listening to this podcast right now and they say I have more questions. I need to ask Mario. So how will they contact you if they have questions?
perfect. Just a little brief introduction. My name is Mario Manzanilla. I have been a loan officer. I've been a loan officer for over 20 years. The last 5+ years, I became very involved in reverse mortgage because I saw a tremendous need among the senior community. Most of them, they're retiring, but they're not ready. They have a home, they still have a mortgage, and they're not ready financially, and that's what the main key thing. So my company, Rate One Financial, has been there for many years. We were in Pasadena, now we're in Sierra Madre, which is about 10 miles of Pasadena, not far. Rate One Financial. To get a hold of me, the best thing is to email me at Mario at Rate One Financial. It's all words, not the number. Rate ONE Financial, rateonefinancial.com, or call me at 626-755-9506. I do prefer the email because then I will know I get a lot of scam phone calls, and you can imagine sometimes I don't answer this is potential scam. So if it's one of you, just leave me a message that I heard you podcast, we heard your information, so that I know, and leave me your phone number if you prefer that way. Eventually we will talk, but an email, it will be the initial, so that way put your phone number and then I can contact you, or whatever your preference is, so then I will know that it's not a scam.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you for letting us know about that. I'm pretty sure our listeners already got that. So now let's go back to our reverse mortgage conversation. So what happens, let's say if I go through all the reverse mortgage requirements, I know there is some kind of meeting with a head counselor. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, absolutely. Reverse mortgages are very safe. They're a very safe product. The government is very protective. It's not like a sales type of thing. You get what they call the loan estimates, before you even, so how much you're gonna get. If this particular product will fit your needs. That's how people know. It's not like somebody selling you something. They said they will run the loan estimates. You get the loan estimates based on very much facts, everything, and then you make the decision. Now, after you make that, there is no obligation whatsoever. You can cancel at any time. When you're in that process, you can say, you know what, I decided not to move forward. That's fine, and there's no cost to it. The only three pieces of cost is basically your credit report, the appraisal, and the HUD approved counselor. Now, I have heard, in fact, today I had a phone call. The HUD, I will mention this, HUD means Housing and Urban Development. It's a branch of the government, federal government, that basically monitors the Federal Housing Authority, FHA, and all of the programs that are backed by the federal government, such as the reverse mortgage. So, in order to get a reverse mortgage, everyone, when we provide the loan estimates, there's also a list of HUD approved counselors. Now, these counselors have nothing to do with the transaction. They don't know me. They don't know the lender. They don't know anybody really. They are counselors. They're a third neutral party. So you have to contact them, and your family can be involved. Any of the questions you have, all of the information that you need, as if you want to double check what we discuss, anything, they will provide you with that. And in there, they will give you, when we get the loan estimates, they will have a code that you show that to the HUD, you mentioned that to the HUD approved counselors. Now, I did hear today, actually, this morning, one of my clients said, how much did they pay? I was curious because some of these counselors charge between 125 to 150. And my client said, I was curious, and says, no, we didn't pay anything. And I said, really? I said, wow, that's news, for the counseling session. And you can use them as your coach too, and your family, in case that they have any further questions. And like I said, they have nothing to do with the transaction, but they're great coaches. It's a safety measure, so they make sure that they understand, the reverse mortgage.
Marion, now I want to ask you if maybe some people are wondering how can I apply for a reverse mortgage? Like, can you give us an example of some people that have used reverse mortgages, and so they can generate an idea in their minds of how it works?
Sure. Really, to apply is I mean, to get loan estimates is rather easy to apply in a second. First, we will need the client's names, date of birth. That's the main thing, right? That's what determines. Then the second, well, most of them are retired or considering retired, or some of them are still working. So if they are, they said they're not going to check their tax returns or anything. So, but they will say, okay, here's my Social Security. Most of them are pensions that I'm receiving. They just need that to verify that amount. Initially, we don't need that. We just need verbally. You said, this is what I get from Social Security and the other pensions, and that's all they need to put, their address, so they will customize the loan estimates to particularly to them. And also, if they know how much debt do they have. And when I said debt, I don't mean utilities, phone bills and stuff. I just mean anything that it is on the credit report, like credit cards, auto loans, that type of thing. And that's basically it. They just put those 3 or 4 pieces of information. We get the loan estimates, they get it, and then they can review exactly how much they will get. We will do the research how much the value of the house is. Oh, and also if they owe any mortgages. A lot of people don't owe anything. Like this client that called me today, she's zero, she owes nothing, and but some still do. There's another client that I have still owes 325,000 and is 72 years old. Well, those mortgages are going to be paid off, you see, completely. If they have a line of credit or anything, everything gets paid off, because they're not going to have any more mortgage payments ever, and
Wow.
they can stay on their house to whatever until they sell, they passed away, or they can no longer be in the house forever, basically, like they have to go to a living
Like a
assistant
living
living.
facility. Uh-huh.
Yes.
Now, the good point that you touched on that is like a lot of people are maybe wondering, but if the person dies, does the government takes the home? And can you explain a little bit more on that? Because I know a lot of people might want to do this kind of reverse mortgage, for their home, but they might think if they use that, then maybe they'll lose their home or something.
That's a great question. And this is the one of the most important questions out there, because that's the greatest myth that there is. No, the government or nobody owns the home. You own the home, you are on title. And if it's a living trust, it goes into the living trust too, just like with any other loan, and that you own it. You have basically, there's no, they don't take the house, and even after you passed away or anything, all they basically do, the differences between one and the other is the regular mortgage, like I said in the beginning, you pay until you die. Like that person that is 72 years old, making almost $1,600 a month payment, and he still has 15 more years to go. So he'll be in his late 80s before he finishes paying 1,500 to the bank. He gets a reverse mortgage, he will have zero payments and can use that 1,500 for his own, purposes, right? So that's the big difference. And he will stay in his home until he passes away. He can sell at any time. Then the mortgage, that's when it becomes due. Then they just pay it off just like any other mortgage. But the bank does not want your home, does not own it or anything, even after they passed away or anything. By the way, these are great questions also to the HUD approved counselor. This is where we recommend, it says, discuss that also, so you can hear it twice or more, so you can insure yourself. That's why they're very protective with these matters.
I see. That's good. That's why it's good to talk about these issues, because I know a lot of people might be able to qualify for the reverse mortgage, but they might have those kind of ideas in their mind. And so it's always good to talk to experts like you, specialists in this kind of vehicles. And now let me ask you something. Who pays the taxes on the home if we use a reverse mortgage?
Great question. That's the reason why they need the income left. They call it really residual income, meaning here's your social security, whatever, your pension, and then they deduct your credit. And then what's left is called residual income. It's not based on debt to income ratios or tax returns, just like the regular loans. So that residual income, the reason why they want that is that they want to make sure that you have the capacity to pay your own taxes and insurance, homeowners insurance. Now, even if your home is free and clear, you still have to pay property taxes. So what if you don't pay your property taxes, even if it's free and clear, forget about reverse mortgages. They go they will foreclose. The county will foreclose because there's property taxes. So they just want to make sure that you have that capacity to pay the taxes and insurance. And that's it. I mean, it's that simple. And they have a number. For one person is 660, and for another person is 990, less than $1,000. So if you have a married couple, all they need to do is look at their how much their social security or the pensions are, and then subtract how much they pay every month on credit cards or what have you. If they have if it's a couple, if they have $990, they qualify. And if the other one, if they have 606, if it's only one, $660, they qualify, period. It's
Wow.
simple. It's not, they don't go, it's just, and because they want to make sure that that they can pay the taxes, because there will be no mortgage payment. That's it. No more. It's just the taxes and the homeowner's insurance, and that's it.
Well, now that you mentioned this, well, does this also applies to a first home time buyer that is a senior and wants to buy a home, but they don't have a home right now? Will they be able to buy a home with a reverse mortgage?
Absolutely. People can buy with a reverse mortgage. Typically, well, they have to be 62 plus. Now, here's the thing about reverse mortgages. This is one thing that I need to really bring up. Um, they don't give you 90% of the value. They don't, because typically what happens is about 50 to 60% of the home value. Let's say that home value is $1 million, just to say in a simple way. So what's 50%? That's 500,000. So typically, if they're going to purchase with a reverse mortgage, they have to put a substantial down. If they are younger, at 62, will have to put almost 50% down, versus somebody that is, let's say, 70 or 80 years old, they're going to put less, a lot less, So
Right.
the crazy thing, they can purchase with a reverse mortgage, no mortgage payment. Usually what happens at that age, most people, they say, you know what, they lived in a 5-bedroom home, 2 bathrooms, two with stairs, and they don't want it anymore because the kids have grown, they're married, and this. Now they even have a hard time getting up and down the stairs. They said, we want to downsize to maybe 2-bedroom, 2-bath, for our own. So they will sell their $1 million home. They buy with a reverse mortgage, let's say with 500,000, let's say, and then they can keep the other 500,000 for their own. So instead of buying it all and end up with no money, so they say, well, you know what? Now I have a home. I don't have a mortgage payment. I'm going to stay here for the rest of my life, and I have a $500,000 left. So for whatever I need for my health reasons, or car or home repairs or whatever in the future. So that's part of the planning process that comes into that. It's almost a situation, a case by case. Everybody has different needs.
Right. So that's why they have to contact you, Mario. And can you
Yes.
repeat again how they can contact you and provide them with your number and your email?
Yes, my name is Mario Manzanilla, Rate One Financial, and my email is Mario at rate1financial.com. And it's all words, rate1financial.com. Or my phone number is 626-755-9506. And to start, my recommendation will be email me first and say, I'm interested in this. Can you call me? And then we'll start addressing the situation. I always ask, why would you want a reverse mortgage? And we start determining, is this, and then we'll move forward with that. There's, again, absolutely no obligation.
That's good. That's good because I know you're gonna walk our listeners through the whole process, and they can decide whether or not they wanna do it or no, and if it's something for them or no. Everything is gonna be explained through them by you, and also by the head counselor too, who is gonna also tell them, and then they can decide for themselves. So Mario, I am so thankful that you came today and spoke in the podcast here, and also explained to the audience about reverse mortgages. So I want to, just thank you for your time. and I want to see if you can come back maybe in another time. We'll schedule a new topic, something different, that you see out there in the reverse mortgage world. And, but do you want to say anything before we go?
Well, sure. I just gonna for the audience there, and I'm just gonna say a very quick example. There's 83-year-old man that he was working for because his Social Security didn't pretty much cover his mortgage payments, and he was struggling. He was working as a taxi driver. Well, he would end up for at least until another 10 more years making I mean, you're going to be 93 paying your mortgage. So kids are gone, and in essence, what happened very quickly, I've just said, when he got a reverse mortgage, this man was in tears because now he doesn't have a mortgage payment. He can use that money for his own, and then he didn't have to work anymore as a taxi driver here in Long Beach. And just another real quick, the lady, actually, I'm going through that. She's 94, and she house paid free and clear, and she bought it in 1963, which she was very proud for $20,000. She's getting $500,000, and the reason is um, she has some health issues, and she needs a caregiver now, and she's in good shape. I met her and I was surprised, but now the family says, well, you know what, it costs a lot of money, and she does not want to go to no assisted living or anything like that. She wants to stay home. That's what they're considering reverse mortgage. Now she's basically paid off for life, so she will stay at her home for life, no mortgage payment. Oh, one big question:
Mm-hmm.
what happens if there is equity after the loan? It goes to their kids. That's why they hold in title. It goes to their kids or whomever it is, a living trust, just like any other loan. Those are the 3 points that I wanted to bring up.
That's so awesome. Thank you, Mario. So, well, to our audience, we want to thank you for being here today, listening to this podcast at Blanca Professional Services. You can visit us online at blancaprofessionalservice.com. You can also call me if you have more questions or you want to get in touch with Mario Manzanilla from Rate One Financial, 1-800-637-5833. And I hope you can join us for our next episode of Reverse Mortgages, and we'll bring Mario again. And we want to thank you again for your time, Mario. I'll see you and talk to you very soon.
Thank you so much for this opportunity, Blanca. Great to be informative to all of you.
Thank you.